Today, I share a topic very close to my heart. And if OCT and retinologist is something that is a word that is now in your dictionary, please listen closely. Most people think retinal damage happens suddenly, but many retinologists will tell you that the retinal stress often builds quietly over time, long before major vision changes appear. And modern life is incredibly intense on the eyes. Screens, LED lights, poor sleep, constant stimulation, stress, and not to mention processed food and late night scrolling, visual overload from morning until midnight. Yes, our days now end closer to midnight. Today, I want to talk specifically to people with weaker retinas, retinal conditions, or macular degeneration, and about certain habits that may be worth becoming much more aware of. Not from fear, not from panic, but from respect for how delicate the retina really is. And I also want to say clearly this video is absolutely not against medical care. We move in tandem. Retinologists are essential. Scans, what I said, OCT scans, monitoring, treatment plans, sometimes injections, surgery, professional guidance, all of this matters deeply. But a scan or a retinologist visit is scheduled to happen every few months or sometimes in 6 weeks, etc. The eyes experience your lifestyle every single day. And between the appointments, between the scans, between the treatments, after post surgery, and increasing awareness around daily habits become incredibly important. Macular degeneration is one of the leading causes of vision loss in older adults worldwide. But unfortunately, when I said older adults, this age is coming younger and younger. And millions of people may have already experienced early retinal changes without realizing it yet. At the same time, human eyes are now exposed to levels of visual stimulation that simply did not exist generations ago. Many people wake up to a phone screen, work on screens all day, sit under artificial lighting, and then scroll late into the night before sleeping, besides glowing devices. I hope I'm not speaking to one of you. The visual system rarely gets true recovery anymore. And honestly, much of what I'm sharing today comes not only from conversations with specialists, but also, as I mentioned earlier, from personal experience and nutrition discussions, nervous system therapists, wellness practitioners, and years of observing how deeply lifestyle affects the body. Because the retina is not isolated from the rest of you, it responds to sleep, it responds to stress. Our circulation matters, the light exposure, the inflammation of the body, which in Ayurveda we call armor, and the nervous system overload. Everything is connected. Everything is connected. One of the biggest problems we have today is that people normalize symptoms for far too long. Many dismiss glare sensitivity or when they have blurry reading, and when they experience eye fatigue or discomfort after long usage of screens, and even when they need to increase the brightness in the room or the screen, or when they have difficulty at night or finding it difficult to focus, as and just we're getting older. But vulnerable retinas often whisper. They whisper before they scream. The body usually gives quieter signals first. Isn't that good? And modern culture almost trains people to ignore exhaustion, especially visual exhaustion is totally overlooked. If you watch some of my earlier videos on eye fatigue and screen overload, you'll know I've already spoken in detail about how constant close up focus affects the visual system over time. This video is more about taking that conversation to a deeper level, specifically for people with weaker retinas. If the retina is already vulnerable, reducing unnecessary visual load overload actually may be a very sensible step. Most people spend entire days staring close up and blinking less, and they are exposed to aggressive brightness and rapidly consuming visual information, switching endlessly between devices. Yes, I've seen people shut off their computer or laptop and then straight away switch to their phones. And then at night, the eyes never truly disengage, whether it's the laptop, the television, the computer, the mobile, it's all screen, scrolling in the darkness, notifications, and sometimes, many a times, bright screens inches away from the face. Yeah. Many people haven't experienced genuine visual quiet in years. And this becomes even more important for individuals already dealing with retinal sensitivity. And let's go for the good news. Simple adjustments may help reduce unnecessary strain, lowering the screen brightness, increasing the screen breaks, avoiding darkroom scrolling, and creating calmer evenings, reducing the nighttime visual stimulation. All this could help positively. And I have actually made separate videos already on the channel covering digital eye strain, blinking, screen fatigue, and nighttime visual habits in much greater detail. So definitely explore those afterwards because they connect strongly with the topic. And another area people often underestimate. Modern eyes are exposed to artificial light almost constantly. Bright overhead LEDs, office lighting, phone screens late at night, and televisions running while falling asleep. And many people with retinal sensitivity already notice they feel more comfortable in softer lighting and environments which are gentler on the eyes. I myself find white light very strong or LED lighting very strong. Creating a darker, calmer sleep environment may be incredibly supportive for the nervous system and the visual system overall. And this includes dimmer lighting at night and reducing LED exposure in the evenings, and totally avoid sleeping besides active screens and turning off unnecessary lights, and notifications that blink, because all this disturbs your sleep and the REM. Many people sleep besides glowing devices and then wonder why both the body and the eyes never feel truly rested. In fact, I've also discussed sleep, visual recovery, and nighttime overstimulation separately on this channel, because that topic honestly deserves its own full conversation. Now, this next part is extremely important. And of course, individual conditions vary greatly, and in fact, the same person maybe have a different capacity after a different while. But people with vulnerable retinas, me included, may want to become more aware of excessive physical straining and also heavy lifting activities, or activities that kind of push the pressure towards the head and the eyes. For example, breath holding, also heavy lifting, like even in a gym to do weightlifting and all, it's different for people with retinal issues. And also explosive pressure exertion. So, for example, I was even literally told by my retinologist not to pick up any luggage, etc., which is for me, that was already enough. And this does not mean you get an excuse not to move. This doesn't mean that movement is bad. Gentle movement and thoughtful movement can be wonderful and is wonderful for circulation, for mood, for nervous system balance, and for the overall well being. Because there are other parts of the body that we need to get moving, so we have to be judicious and thoughtful. So, for example, walking and gentle mobility and relaxed stretching, outdoor movement is thoroughly important. And these are very different from aggressive physical strain. The same awareness may also have to be applied to prolonged inversion poses in yoga, for example, or intense headstands, forceful breath retention, for example, bandhas, what they call, and also aggressive hyperventilation style of breathing like Kapalbhati and the Bhastrika. It has to be done very cautiously and initially not at all. In fact, best avoided. Again, this is something people should discuss with their retinologist or specialist, depending on their specific condition at that specific time. But I do think many people with fragile retinas are simply never told to think about pressure, strain, and overstimulation in daily life. And when we become more aware of those patterns, then we are in a great space. If there is one area where awareness becomes especially important, it is smoking and vaping. So, smoking has long been associated with retinal and macular damage. Thankfully, this does not apply to me, but it's very important for those who are habitual. And now, many people are constantly vaping and assuming that it has little impact on the body. But the retina is incredibly delicate tissue. It relies heavily on oxygen, circulation, the blood flow, antioxidants, and modern lifestyles already create enormous oxidative stress, which is why many specialists and wellness practitioners also they emphasize reducing the ultra processed foods too, and the excessive sugar, chronic sleep deprivation, and extreme stress. Inflammatory lifestyle habits. The eyes are not separate from the rest of the body. I have said this line in many of my videos, and believe you me. and inflammation rarely stays isolated to one place. Another interesting perspective comes from Ayurveda and traditional wellness systems. It is emphasized that health is not only about what we eat, but also about how well the body digests, absorbs, and processes the nutrition. Because even healthy foods may not fully support the body if digestion and circulation, hydration, and elimination are poor. This is one reason many holistic practitioners place importance on gut health, fiber intake, hydration, and reducing chronic constipation, which has become extremely common in modern lifestyles. And in some individuals, excessive straining during bowel movements may also create pressure in the body, and that may not be ideal for a vulnerable retina. Of course, every medical situation is different, and these conversations should always happen alongside guidance from your retinologist or healthcare professional. But overall, reducing unnecessary strain in the body while supporting digestion, hydration, and smoother elimination may be another valuable part of supporting long term eye health. One thing I have personally become more aware of over time is how deeply the eyes are connected to the nervous system. Many people live in a state of constant stimulation and information overload, constant urgency, and scrolling is just so constant. And all this creates a mental overload. The nervous system never fully settles with all these activities, and the eyes stay locked into that same state of overstimulation. Sometimes the most supportive thing for the visual system is not adding more intensity, but just reducing the overload, taking a step back, having calmer evenings, softer lighting, more outdoor walks, and distance viewing. Yes, more sleep, more rest, and less visual chaos. I've also created dedicated videos around eye relaxation, nervous system tension, and visual recovery. Practices because these topics are much deeper than most people realize. If someone is dealing with weak retinas or AMD, that is, it may be wise to focus less on searching for miracle solutions, and let's focus more on creating healthier daily environment for the eyes. And to sum it all together, this would include deeper sleep, darker evenings, lower screen brightness, antioxidant rich, nutritious foods. I will be sharing some recipes also of eye health related foods and hydration, leafy greens, reducing unnecessary visual overload, calmer routines, healthier circulation, regular eye monitoring, and protecting the eyes from excessive glare. Not perfection, just greater awareness and consistency. Because the retina experiences daily habits continuously. I think many people quietly fear vision loss more than they admit, because vision is independence. It is reading, it is driving, recognizing faces, interacting, social interaction, seeing nature, seeing family, and moving through the world confidently, which is exactly why retinal health deserves respect. Long before severe symptoms appear, not fear, but rather awareness. Again, none of this replaces proper medical care. Retinologists do essential work. What I am sharing is between the appointments, the lifestyle exists every single day. The body still responds to sleep, to lower stress, to the correct light exposure, to not being overstimulated, and to recovery. And definitely very quickly to nourishment. Modern life is incredibly demanding, it is accepted on the eyes. So, if your or someone you know retinas are already vulnerable, creating a calm and more supportive visual environment may be one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. And if this video helped you think differently about retinal health, please share it with someone who you feel needs it or spends long hours on screens or is trying to get better support for their eyes. And if you like deeper guidance on screen fatigue, visual recovery, blinking, hydration, eye relaxation, nighttime visual habits to integrate all this into your daily routine, I have already made videos on all these topics here on the channel, and we have a playlist also which you can look into. And take gentle care of your eyes. They work for you every single day. Thank you. Thank you so much.